Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'du. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, segala puji bagi Allah Subhanahu wa taala memberikan kita kesempatan pada malam ini untuk kita berada di ruangan internet, dan juga selamat malam kepada semua di mana saja anda berada untuk bersama-sama kita pada malam ini di ruangan ABITALK. Hari ini hari Jumaat 3 November 19 Rabiul Akhir 1445 Hijrah. Apa khabar dan juga selamat malam. Terima kasih kerana bersama dengan kita pada malam ini. Malam ini kita sangat bertuah kerana mendapat pasangan yang bukan sama bukan sama, orang kata tu apa? Bangsa. Itu yang paling orang kata tu sesuai untuk saya sebut, dan juga untuk kita membuka ruang bagi mereka mungkin di ruangan anda ataupun di kalangan kita yang menengok ni ada juga pasangan yang mendapat menantu yang berbeza bangsa. Ada yang Melayu, ada bukan Melayu, ada yang Nusantara, bukan Nusantara dan sebagainya. Jadi kita nak habis mendedahkan diri kita lah. Singapura ni is a unique country. Dan juga kita nak memberikan satu kesesaan, kelegaan. Sebenarnya bukan kita seorang saja yang ada menantu ataupun pasangan yang berbeza, tapi ada juga di luar sana yang sebenarnya hidup aman, bahagia dan sentosa. Alright, jadi sebelum kita nak kupas lebih lanjut tentang topik pada malam ini ialah kahwin campur. Kahwin campur iaitu pasangan mempelai ataupun pasangan suami isteri yang berbeza bangsa, berbeza bahasa, tetapi hidup harmoni dan juga bahagia. Itu dia. Jadi saya nak minta jasa baik anda untuk kongsi ruangan ini kepada yang lain sebelum kita mulakan perbincangan ataupun perkongsian bersama dengan tetamu undangan. Kalau saya nampak scroll di bawah, Puan Aisyah, Arshad, dan juga Tuan. I so scared to talk ataupun to mention your name. So can I say Tuan
Selemani is Sulaiman actually.
Sulaiman.
Yeah, Selemani is how we Swahili people call Sulaiman.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is similar name. Selemani, Sulaimani.
So I better call you Sulaiman lah.
Yeah.
It's
easier
for me.
Yeah.
So instead of I call you nanti different name bagi pengsan. Okay. So Sulaiman and founder of Furaha Naturels.
Yes.
That one maybe later on kita akan discuss. So it's a mix of Malay, bilingual lah senang kata. Alah Singapura ni kita by the way, in the way semua ada apa. Jadi kita punya perbincangan ni ada percampuran antara bahasa Melayu dan juga English insya-Allah untuk kita memudahkan perbincangan kita pada malam ini insya-Allah. Atas dasar juga kita menghormati Encik Sulaiman kita yang tidak fasih dalam bahasa Melayu.
I faham. I boleh faham. I tak boleh cakap banyak.
Okay, good thing untuk kita share. Jadi saya rasa ramai juga di kalangan kita yang baru masuk. Selamat datang, selamat malam, dan juga selamat bersama kita pada malam ini insya-Allah. Kita nak habis sembang santai tentang kahwin campur yang ada di depan saya ataupun bersama saya pada malam ini insya-Allah. Jadi sebelum saya mulakan, please like, share and follow ruangan ini. Saya minta izin untuk saya kongsikan kepada mereka yang ada pada malam ini tentang ABI. Kita adalah satu perkhidmatan one stop Islamic service yang memberikan perkhidmatan Islamik daripada cukur rambut bayi sampai pada urusan jenazah, dan juga in between di antaranya juga kita ada urusan ataupun perkhidmatan travel, dipanggil ABI Travel, yang menawarkan perkhidmatan umrah, wisata dan sebagainya. Kalau anda ingin mendapatkan khidmat, anda boleh hubungi kami di talian di bawah 8202 2971 ataupun travel 81611224. Jadi adalah galakan daripada kita juga, kita nak mengajak anda untuk menjadi ABI ataupun member kita dengan ABI Uswati ni. Dulu dipanggil Khairat Kematian, tapi kita nak menjangkaui lebih daripada itu dengan anda menjadi ahli mendapat beberapa kelebihan-kelebihan yang lain. So Khairat ni selalunya dikaitkan dengan kematian, dipanggil lubang kubur lah. Tapi kita ni nak katakan konsep kita lebih daripada itu. Dengan anda membayar $1,600, anda akan dapat 2 urusan jenazah yang worth dia adalah $800 satu urusan, dan juga mendapat beberapa lagi kelebihan seperti mendapat voucher makan $100 di TMC, dan juga 10% anda dapat makan TMC sepanjang masa, is lifetime, dan juga beberapa kelebihan-kelebihan yang lain. Jadi dengan membayar 1,600 tu bukan saja satu kali serpuk 1,600, tetapi anda boleh bayar ansuran daripada 3 bulan hingga kepada sejauh 5 tahun. Jadi ini adalah satu kelebihan yang kita nak. Kita dah ada 900 members yang mana kita juga dah melakukan dan juga kendalikan urusan jenazah hampir lebih 200 urusan jenazah. Baby pun kita dah uruskan lebih 200 baby yang kita uruskan. Jadi kita nak grow lebih banyak supaya kita dapat bersama-sama tubuhkan komuniti yang sihat di Singapura ini dan juga mengendalikan agama kita sebagai tunjang untuk kita hidup aman damai di Singapura ini, insya-Allah. So hopefully Mr. Sulaiman, you understand my
Yes, I understand most of it.
Okay, now jadi kita ajukan juga ataupun kita alu-alukan bagi mereka yang nak ajukan soalan kepada kita pun boleh, tetapi bersandarkan kepada topik kita pada malam ni lah. Tak boleh keluar daripada kepompong soalan ataupun topik kita berkenaan dengan kahwin campur. Jadi antara soalan saya nak ajukan, saya punya dah line up macam mana boleh kenal, macam mana perbezaan bangsa ataupun apa namanya, adat ke ataupun kebiasaan. Itu antara yang saya nak tanyakan juga. Dan bagaimana kesisaan nak duduk kat mana lepas ni ke dan sebagainya. Maybe confidential ataupun agak rahsia kan. Tetapi mungkin kita boleh kasih beberapa cadangan ke ataupun perkongsian kepada viewers kita pada malam ni, insya-Allah. Alright. So saya nampak ada beberapa komen yang ada dekat sini, antaranya kita punya Ustaz kita. Oh, saya blocking ya, saya punya Ustaz. So kita nampak sini, kita raikan juga mereka yang Ustaz kita pada malam ni yang join. Apa khabar? Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Encik Jahari, Ustaz family dan juga semua rakan-rakan di sini, selamat malam kembali. Puan Nadia, apa khabar? Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dan juga kepada tetamu undangan, saya faham Puan Nadia kadang-kadang nak type ni ada masalah missing alphabet. Tapi saya faham maksudnya apa tu. Okey, Abang Rizam, apa khabar? Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Tetamu undangan dan semua, semoga semua sentiasa di bawah lindungan Allah SWT. Amin ya rabbal alamin. Okey, ada Dr. Adib kirim salam pada Kak Aisyah dan suami. Oh, Dr. Adib pun tengok juga. Banyak-banyak channel dekat Singapura ni, ada Channel 5, ada Suria, tengok juga Abi channel ni, ABITALK. Terima kasih doktor. Okey, Puan Latifah, apa khabar? Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan juga tetamu undangan. Selamat malam kembali Puan Asmah. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Abi family, rakan-rakan semua, selamat malam kembali. Baik, alhamdulillah kita dah menyapa orang semua kat sini. Now kita nak go to our guest of honor. Tetamu undangan kita, Encik Sulaiman dan juga Puan Aisyah. Apa khabar?
Baik, alhamdulillah.
Selamat malam. Dan juga selamat bersama kita pada malam ini. Sebagai permulaan, mungkin first question.
Okay.
How come? Mungkin I go with Puan Aisyah first lah.
Okay.
Puan Aisyah, mungkin kalau sebagai rakyat Singapura yang kita ni terbiasa ataupun secara stereotip lah, kebiasaan perkahwinan selalu kita akan nampak daripada Singapura ataupun local with local. Tapi dengan ketentuan ilahi nama kamu kan, pada alhamdulillah Puan berpasangan mendapat suami daripada bangsa lain. Macam mana boleh starting pertemuan tersebut? Mungkin you can know that angle first.
Okay. Okay, so what happened was that boleh saya cakap dalam bahasa?
Boleh. You want to
okay. So what happened was that I actually took leave from work and then I went to Turkey. I went to Istanbul.
Okay.
And then in university, it was the Turkish lesson. Like for us who are not from Turkey, we are actually required to take up Turkish lessons.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's Turkish 101. So I went to class, and then I saw our brother here in class. Okay. Kemudian it's actually a class for orang yang tak tahu bahasa Turki langsung. But he was actually exchanging, like he seemed to have a lot more Turkish than a lot of us in the class.
Seriously?
Yeah, so I was like, who is this person? Macam spoil market gitu. Macam then he shouldn't be in the class because it's really for those of us who have got zero knowledge in Turkish. Jadi, so after class, then
after class. Okay, now after class.
Yeah, so actually what we do when we don't have anything to do, we will find where is Turkish 101, because it's like a comedy. The teacher doesn't speak English, the student doesn't speak Turkish.
I need it, see? It's like a...
Yeah, so we just stay behind and then we just enjoy the show. So if it becomes so difficult, then we'll interject and then we will help the teacher to explain or the student to explain to the teacher. But it was not compulsory. We just go there for fun because we don't have anything to do. So that's what we used to do. And I knew the teacher.
Part of the semester.
Yeah, we know. It's just like the first 2 weeks of the semester. Nothing in school. The school is not hot yet, you know. The professor is still easing in, you know. So that's the time we will go, and the Turkish professors know, like, having these people who can speak Turkish is bonus for them. So he will not really say, no, this is not your class. Because if he cannot explain, you know, someone can really help them to explain. So that's how it happened.
Tapi your marriage, both of you, dah berapa lama masa perkahwinan antara Puan Aisyah dengan Selemani?
Come to 9 years. Yeah, so we actually met 10 years ago. And then subsequently we got married. Yeah, we got married, and then this is coming to our 9th year.
Yes, it's November. We met in November.
Yeah, we met in November. Yeah,
So this is a good
yeah, so that day in the Turkish class, it was in November.
And it's a good season, eh?
Yeah,
November
13, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. So it's a good anniversary. Okay, it's a sweet thing, macam but I haven't. Okay, now kita kata pertemuan tu, kenalan tu on the Turkey, which is wow, nice place, Alhamdulillah. And okay, bila mana kita, I mean, yalah, it's something that is student punya environment, you know, kind of thing. But you decided to go further than that. Maksudnya Puan Aisyah nak lanjutkan, dan juga penerimaan family tu. I go with Puan Aisyah first. How acceptance from the family tentang, look, I want to get Mr. Sulaiman to become my husband, but penerimaan keluarga tu macam mana? Kalau boleh kongsi sedikit lah. I mean, on the perimeter side.
Yeah. Okay, so for me, at that time when I actually met my husband, I was not very young. So it's not like I'm like in my 20s, I wasn't so young. Jadi, in a sense that my family gave me a lot of freedom as to whom I want to choose as a husband. So, but then I kept very close contact with my mom. I always keep her updated, like, you know, what are my feelings, and then what are my thoughts about my future. So my mom is very positive about it. She like, whatever happens, inshallah, I'm here to support you. So what I did was I did a lot of istihara. For 3 months I did istihara.
Okay.
And then Alhamdulillah, so at one point in time, my mom said that since your brother is the wali, so it's high time that you actually have a chat with him about it. So I had a talk with my elder brother. My dad passed away when I was very young. So my elder brother said that, well, as long as he will be able to support you and then make you happy, I will actually support the marriage. Yeah, so it was like that.
And the interesting thing is, I called the brother using a hangout, right?
Yeah, so what we did was,
yes,
jadi kita pergi dekat the Metro Bus punya station.
Yeah,
dekat
the
situ
park.
ada a place
Small
where ada Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
So we actually sat down there and then we had the chat with my brother.
So
my brother was in Singapore.
Yeah, so I talked with this, and then he asked, "You're going to take care of her?" Yes. Just make her happy. Yes. It's okay already. Like that.
Hey, tapi kita, I think we haven't know about your, if you don't mind, Mr. Sulaiman, your background from your original place. Okay. Where are you from? Can you share?
My origin is from Tanzania, East Africa. Okay. Yeah, so I come from East Africa. Very close to the ocean, Indian Ocean. Okay. Yeah, so I'm the first in the family of five children. Yeah, so I'm the oldest. So and I have been growing up independently since I was very young. So my mother is my best friend. because one thing special about her, I'm not only the first, but she gave birth to me when she was very young. She was married very young. Yeah, so she's like my sister, and
So cute, eh?
we are 16, 17 years apart. So yeah, so me and her, we are like someone who we tell each other secrets since we are very. I have my ability to understand. She will tell me her secrets. I'll tell her my secrets. So we are very super close. And one thing about her, she told me, your marriage is yours to do.
Okay.
I'll not interfere with it.
So
Yeah.
give you freedom.
Yeah. So if you want to marry whoever you want to marry, if you think she's okay, he's okay. I'm not gonna interfere with it.
Inshallah.
If it doesn't work, that is for you to learn. So this is her approach. So that's one thing. Another thing for her, your children is for you to take care. I'm not gonna interfere for you on how you are taking care of your children. My parenting style is different. You don't have to follow it. Follow your own parenting style. So this is another thing about her. So I will not interfere with your parenting style. So this is another thing. The third thing, your life is your life. Whatever you want to do, you do as long as you're good. So this is her philosophy. So when I told her that there's someone I want to get married and everything, and then the only question she asked me was, where do you want to live? Will you live there or will you be here? And I say, wherever Allah makes me to live. And then I say, it's okay. The only thing you should do, don't forget home. That's what she said. Yeah. So you can live anywhere, but don't forget home.
I did ask Bilal Nadiamdin husband, okay, what happened if I will go moving forward? I fast forward a bit, the pass on moment. What if there's the Bilal mentioned that if Allah's permit happen to be I pass on Singapore, then I will be in Singapore. That's Bilal. But I'm not going to ask you that question first lah, because a long way to go. I want to know more about that. Tanzania, but okay. I go to with very interesting stories. Okay, when you decided to get married, this is the part. Is there any challenges that you can overcome? Kalau saya boleh kongsikan dalam masa lain juga, macam mana cabaran, the challenges that you guys are facing once you decided to get married? One, number two, that you are sacrificing your place Tanzania to be in Singapore permanently, for example. How your emotion, how you want to cope the situation when I ask Mr. Sulaiman first about, because you already spent 9 years in Singapore, or actually by that you traveling here and there?
Yeah, we've been here for the last 7 years.
7 years.
7 years.
So the first 2 years we were living in Istanbul.
Okay.
And then we moved it here.
I think it also is something that we can share about it. I saw make friends on Facebook of Aisyah juga. So this part you are be at Turkey.
Yeah.
Then after that, I think Facebook also changed the algorithm. So what the Facebook will be lost touch about updating lah each other. But how you decided, or maybe you can share with the viewers siapa yang tengok on this one, you Tanzania, you leave everything there and you make yourself ataupun you make your together, make your family here, and you can sacrifice.
Yeah, so one thing about mixed marriage is it has a lot of compromise.
Yeah, that's what compromise.
You have to it's not sacrificing per se, it's just you have to compromise a lot. So sometimes you have to go out of the circle of friends, group of friends that maybe they will not be able to really understand what's going on between you. And there is one advantage about mixed marriage. I don't know a lot of people they know about. Most mixed marriage, they're very compassionate because we don't know each other's culture. So we are so forgiving toward one another, becoming like, okay, this is the part of the culture I don't understand. So I'm okay to compromise and then move forward. But if you're coming from the same culture, you will always crash because you have different the expectation is there, you know, like I'm expected to be treated this way because you understand my culture, you know. So you understand the way my culture, how they treat maybe a husband, how they treat children, how you should be. So you understand this. So we have this expectation, like you have to fulfill those ones. But when you go into different cultures, like for example, for us, Malay to Tanzanian Africans, because even Africa is completely different. Yeah, and for us is completely coastal culture. You'll find like we have to really compromise to come into understanding. So that's one thing. Another thing that one thing it was very easy to me. In Tanzania, we live out of our parents' house very early in life. Yeah, so we don't stick with the parents. So as long we can live out of the parents' house as early as you bale. Yeah, so a good example, when I was in secondary school, I was not living 100% home. We were with the friends. We have already, my friend, they had extra room, so the parents gave back room, you know, so not in the main house. So back room is boys. There's ballet boys. It's already puberty. So we live there. We cook ourselves. We do each and everything ourselves. We're not like part of the family. So it really helped us not to have this so much attachments, you know. So yeah, so we can really just move on very easily. So it was not a very big decision for me, like, okay, this time I need to go boarding school. It's just, okay, this is time I go boarding school. Okay, this time I move to Turkey, I just moved to Turkey. There is not so much attachment inside there, because it's just like the normal life everyone is doing. If I don't study, that means I'll go to work. I'll have, maybe for some people have farms, some people find jobs. Okay, some people go to school. It's just like that. Is a normal type of life.
It's mindset
Yeah,
also
so
how you try to adapt.
yeah, so for Alhamdulillah, I was able to adapt very easily. So if you ask about so much compromise, I cannot really see compromising because my mind is very adaptable. So I just adapt to the situation, I move on. That's what. Another thing I believe is there is nothing wrong happen to your life.
Okay, this is interesting.
Yeah, so what I say, nothing happened to you, life happened for you.
Okay.
You know, so if so I will give an early part of the marriage, we had some challenges, you know. Okay. So the only question, because we had a lot of cultural issues, you know, so and different expectations. The only way I was moving forward through this period is what I used to tell myself. Marriage is ibadah, and ibadah cannot be easy.
Wow.
So that is the only way I used to move forward. You know, marriage is ibadah, and ibadah cannot be easy. So because I used to remember this ayah that you think that we will let you to say that you have believed before we have tested you. Because we have tested you. The people before you, they came, and then masathumul ba'sa wa dharra wa zulzilu, you know. So I all challenges people, they came, and then until the Prophet ﷺ asked when the help will come. So whatever challenges I used to face when the period we had so challenged, the only thing I used to tell myself is marriage is ibadah, and Allah will not make this ibadah easy.
Saya rasa this is a good sharing daripada Mr. Sulaiman, that orang kata tu actually mindset dan juga adaptation lah, macam mana nak menyesuaikan diri. So from the perkongsian tadi, saya rasa jemaah ataupun the viewers also understand pengorbanan sebenarnya compromise. Tolak ansur pun ada juga main peranan juga selain daripada pengorbanan lah. Untuk kita lihat bagaimana orang di luar cuba nak berada di sini untuk duduk dan juga untuk berkahwin, untuk mendirikan rumah tangga dengan orang Singapura especially. So before saya go to Puan Aisyah, I want to see anyone yang kat sini pun dengar, ada tak pengalaman anda sendiri yang ada menantu ke, suami ke, isteri ke yang berlainan bangsa, berlainan kata tu apa nama negara yang anda hadapi. Tapi macam tadi Encik Sulaiman katakan, dia compromise, lagi satu adaptasinya di dalam situasi boleh bergerak di satu tempat ke satu tempat, jadi tak ada masalah bagi beliau. Mungkin yang tengok ni pun ada juga yang menghadapi cabaran pada awal peringkat perkahwinan, kita tak tahu. Tapi saya nak go to Puan Aisyah, macam mana kepercayaan that with that masa yang berada dekat Turki dan kenal pula Encik Sulaiman, kepercayaan nak berumah tangga dengan seseorang tu yang mungkin belum lagi kenal sedalam-dalamnya lah. Dan yelah, kita percaya kepercayaan apa? Ada orang, maaf cakap lah, kita nak say that pasal ni orang luar, kita bukan orang kita tak kenal. Hati budi satu hal, lagi satu, bolehkah aku percaya dia? Ni on the first stage of person what. Lepas tu kenal seseorang tu mesti nak kena percaya. Takut nanti dah kahwin hilang pula. Sorry, I just come up with that kind of pictures lah. But how can you totally devoted ataupun betul-betul this is the one, dan alhamdulillah until now 9 tahun, which is masya-Allah. That dia punya kepercayaan ke, that how you really boleh terus orang kata tu prosper dalam hubungan rumah tangga ni. Kalau saya want to share.
Yeah, I would say that it's about firstly it's about the risk appetite of the person.
Okay.
Risk appetite. So whether one is willing to actually take the risk to go beyond what is the usual. So that is one.
Okay.
So also back to your question, I think for me, alhamdulillah, I try to observe how he was when he was in university. So really observe how he deals with people, how he interacts with his friends, whether he could be trusted or not. So
Kena scan. Not say scan. I mean, yelah, we must observe what. This is the benchmark. Yeah, can see?
Yes,
Yeah.
because it's going to be a lifelong endeavor. Marriage is a lifelong endeavor, right?
Yeah.
That we really want it to sustain until we survive we live together in Jannah. Jadi it's about itulah. So I did a lot of observation, but at the same time I also know what I wanted in a husband. So I have actually drawn up my criteria.
Oh.
So like,
Masya-Allah.
he must be emotionally available, for example. Then he must be a good communicator. And then of course he must be able to actually speak at the same wavelength. Jadi kita tak nak macam, alamak orang ni cakap gini, lepas tu kita fikir macam ni, macam tak boleh nak, no, we cannot, tak ada macam
It's a plus and minus, yeah.
Yeah.
Cannot be
so
connected.
so must be able to be at the same wavelength. And then at that time when in university, I was a history student, but he was a science student. But then there were actually some classes which we felt that, we were in the same class. So we actually attended a class on philosophy. Yeah. And then so we thought, okay, there's some similarities in that sense that we liked. Jadi, but then in Istanbul, he was such a very busy person.
Busy,
Jadi,
So,
pasal he was a
lot of
student.
commitments lah.
He was a student leader, and then lepas tu, like a lot of girls also come and ask him like about studies, and there was one thing, I didn't really ask him about studies or what do they actually want from him. Jadi macam, so I do a lot of those observations, and then at the same time, but I know that whatever it is, okay, those are just my observations, but I need this to be guided by Allah, my choice to be guided by Allah. So that was why I actually spent a lot of time to just reflect, and then istikhara, and then when I felt that okay, I am ready for it, then that was the time when I actually break the news to my mother.
She did istikhara 3 months.
Of course, because it's a lifetime, and so because it's something that the trust. I understand, because perspective of women, kita lelaki, I mean, as a man also, it's something that emotionally really need to, how to say, really choose wisely,
Correct.
because a lot of marriage also happen to be
Yep.
Opposite. To be 9 years, 10 years, or maybe 20, some of the old, the marriage up to 40 years, for example, which is mashallah.
Yeah.
But they also up and down, a lot of challenges and so on. But again, perkahwinan yang berbeza ni, yang kita dah kongsikan tadi is how the compromise. That's the word. The compromise, understanding. And the benchmark, the trust, how you scan, how you want to make sure the criteria is all fit in. Tapi lepas tu, the selling part tu, I mean the togetherness now. You said the first step, the first part is that to understand each other culture and to compromise. Hopefully, there's no crack in between. I don't like here lah, I don't like that. I want to go to back my country, for example. Or I just want to. There are some yang unsuccessful, can I say?
Yes.
Dalam perkahwinan.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to share a bit about that.
Yeah. So my case may be differently. My father had 2 failed marriages before marrying my mother, and we grew up seeing our mother, how she really compromising in life. She got married very early, and she continued to stay long in life, in the marriage until today. How many years? More, close to 40 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, so they'll be turning 40 years of marriage very soon. So it's something we have seen our mother, and it's not like smooth sailing in life. And as I told you, she is my confidant. Till today, she knows when I take phone with my mother, everyone has to stay outside because minimum is 1 hour, 1.5 hours. That is how long we talk. So you have to update each and everything. She'll tell me this happened, that happened. So I know really what was going on in her heart and what compromises she's doing. So in one way or another, it prepared me as someone future in life. That's one. Another thing that I have never met my grandfather from my mother's side. But everyone who ever talk about me about that grandfather, they have always talk in utmost respect. Like he's a family man, someone who will compromise. He will always put his children to bed, not his wife. And you can imagine, like, this is 1980s back there, So, for example, my mother, one of the things she used to say, she was 8 years old. She goes to school. The father will take her, then put on the shoulders, and then send her to school. And she will come back home. For our tribe, generally, once the child reach 8 to 9, it's taboo for the father to really take care of the girl. For example, it's a taboo. But until 8, 9, she's still taking care, showering of my mother. So she'll go into bed, put net, and then she will do mosquito. He will do a lot of spray of the mosquito and stuff. And then after that, he was a hunter. So after he put there, he would go to the forest, hunt, and then just before he prays subuh, he will wake up, he will pray for his tahajjud, and then he will cook. The moment the first child wake up, he has already prepared food. So this is the story I hear everyone talk about my great-grandfather. So my grandfather. So I think it really shaped my mindset on how I want to be, and for him to do this, that means he has to do a lot of compromises. You can understand the culture at that time is not like how he has been doing. It was a strongly masculine culture that the women should be the one taking care of the children.
Yes.
So for us in the family, hearing all those ones, you find us different. He will tell you, or she will tell you, all people in our family, all men in our family, we are soft. Yeah. We take care of children in the house. We take care of, we are not like in the house like king in the house. So all of us, not even my cousins and everything, we do household chores. We will cook in the house. So it's like all part of the family. We are just like that. And it's not everyone It's like that. Some other family you go is just completely different. So I think this is one thing I can say is a little bit different, that it contributed the way we are able to move on easily.
Moving to Puan Aisyah, I think itu antara perkara lebih make you feel tenang apabila melihat family Encik Sulaiman dekat Tanzania. Dan dia already dah pergi Tanzania pun, of course lah, dah 9 tahun tu. Cuma budaya tu yang buatkan, actually this is the one that I want selama ni. Alhamdulillah dia punya budaya dia menarik perhatian dan juga membesarkan anak-anak sebagainya. Dan ini budaya yang I think, wow, this is good. Saya dengar pun saya macam wow, susah saya nak dapat dekat Singapura ni. Kita buka mata dia kerja, kerja malam live kan, kena live lagi, lepas tu besok kerja lagi kan, kelas umrah, tengok. Tapi the Tanzania culture is different. Tapi that make you feel lebih tenang dengan adanya macam gini punya keadaan, lebih confident, lebih apa yang punya Aisyah punya.
Yeah, so definitely. I mean, as a working mother, I mean, I work full time.
Yeah.
And then we have got 4 children.
InsyaAllah.
They're 7 and below.
Masya Allah.
So can you imagine? We don't have a helper at home.
Good. Good pula. I mean, sorry.
Jadi kita tak ada helper. So can you imagine, like, you know, I've got to work, and then if let's say I don't have a very supportive husband who is not hands-on, I don't think I can do everything. Macam nak kerja, lepas tu nak jaga anak, nak pagi je for example, like you know, in the morning our son will actually head out to school on his own, but my husband will be the one like ensuring that all the 3 kids are showered, and then you know, they have their breakfast. Yeah, so he's very, I mean, that actually helped me in that sense. So macam for example, when I am pregnant, I can actually have an early rest. And then he will settle the kitchen, he will clean, I mean, he will settle the dishes, very hands-on, mashallah. So even macam toileting, he actually trains the children. Yeah, toileting.
Be dependent on it.
Yes, and then you know, getting them to wean off breast milk, getting them to wean off from diaper. He's the one who trains.
So she doesn't do anything. During weaning off, she just sleep.
Listening from your story about the Tanzania, how you bring up the family.
Yeah, so that's where I think because we call this it's a lot of conditioning. You know, we get conditioning from our environment. So the people around you will determine what type of a person you are later in life. So and the stories you hear, you know, if you hear like men, they have to be kings in the house. Okay, I have to sit here, bring food here. You know, all those type of things. This is how boys will grow and become. But if you, since they are very young, the only stories you hear is your grandfather putting your mother to bed. You know, your grandfather washing clothes for your mother. You know, so it gives you a different picture on what type of a man he is. And he's not only working in the house. Once he finished taking care of his kids, he's heading off to do his hunting. You know, he will do his hunting, he'll get enough to sell and then to feed his family.
Where did he get the energy from?
Yeah, so I think it's mission.
Cool.
Yeah,
Purpose
and
also,
purpose. So so he put his mission purpose. So that I think so you ask me why I do this, because I don't want my kids later on to go and then become like I don't want them to become lazy, like lazy people in the house. At the same time, I want to inspire them, like, you can do this, you can do that, you can do this. So it's for me, what drives me is purpose to rise in next generations that is more understanding and more close to how the Prophet ﷺ was. You know, so if we see him, this is what I have been learning since I was young. The Prophet ﷺ was not a king prophet, he was a servant prophet. He serves anyone in his house. When he go, he will sew his own clothes. So this is my in my parenting and everything, this is what I'm aspiring to do. So this is what pushing me. I don't know about my grandfather, what was his drive. I have never met him. So, but I can say it, maybe his kids, his children, that's what drives him, because that's what people in the past used to do.
I learned something for tonight. I'm learning something from you. That there's a purpose. Actually, it's not wrong to be helping, doing housework, cleaning your clothes, washing, and whatever, mopping and so on. Tapi go back to Puan Aisyah juga. This is something that so blessed that you have that kind of to extend that the children lah. How to educate, or do you share about your kids the situation that you are unique, not locally Tanzanian, but also is how to say, it's a mix of Malay and I didn't know about themselves. I mean your kids, I did share about the unique of them. Ada tak kongsian kayak gitu? Macam mana dia punya penerimaan ke apa dan sebagainya?
Yeah, so the thing is our kids, all of them have got curly hair.
Asal funny, sorry. Bukan curly hair tu something that not this funny part, is something cute lah, cute lah. That's I want to go that angle. Dia bukan macam satu that sarcastic, no, but different lah. That's why I understand. Yeah. So how the
so in school kadang orang kata kawan-kawan kacau. Dia kata kawan my friend actually tease me about my hair, my hair is curly. I said, then the brother will say, tell your friend that your hair is unique. Yeah, cool. we are both Malay and we are also African.
We're Africans.
So ada abang lah yang macam Abimai. You shouldn't feel that we dia pacify adik dia macam itu.
Yeah, so telling them like we are different marriage, no, but telling them like they're mixed, like you're unique, you are African Malays, yes. So actually we try is the word. We are never consistent about it. On Saturday to speak Malay, on Sunday to speak my language. So that to try that, but it's always challenging, always is challenging to go different languages.
Yeah, very challenging. But how do you decide what kind of language at home? Apa bahasa nak guna pakai kat rumah? Sama ada, of course, mother tongue Malay, for example, for Puan Aisyah. For you is
Swahili. Yeah.
Swahili.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm very.
It's Arabic. Swahili.
Okay.
Yeah, it's coastal language. It's Sahil,
Sahili.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
But okay, did you expose to your kids? Adakah you expose to your kids about this the language? Or?
Yes, I'm trying.
Yeah, 7 years below. 7 years below. Yeah, try to adapt. Hopefully they are okay. But now the first part, how make them welcome out the student around them. I mean the kids around them that try to maybe teach or not say this, how to say the friends that look at him may be different. That's how you want to overcome them. Hopefully they are brave enough to go to school. That is another story lah.
All of our kids love going to school, so that one is not a problem, alhamdulillah. So we they talk to themselves also. Like for example, we have our boy is not much of a problem. Like, one of the boys, Yusuf, our eldest boy, he actually said that I want to straighten my hair. Masa yang lain semua banyak yang straight hair kan in school. So I want to straighten my hair. Then we also had to spend time to explain to him.
That's when he was in kindergarten, right?
But now that he goes, now he's already in primary 1. And then everyone looks at him in awe, looking at his curly hair. Dia macam suka pula.
Superstar.
Yeah. So after that, he left his hair grow. For how many? Almost 8 months, 6 months. He let all his hair grow so big. So and then you ask him, no, I don't want to shave anymore. So as they grow, they understand their uniqueness, Yeah, so they understand their uniqueness and they understand their peculiarity, and they understand that they might be a little bit special, and also we try to raise them to be very independent, so that they will be able to explain and then to stand up for themselves.
Okay, I just moving to the next one, talking about your work or the founder of Furaha Naturels. So when you're in Singapore, of course you are talking about work.
Yes.
Singapore is totally working environment
Yeah.
and also a stress. Not say stress. I mean, the working environment is much more different from Tanzania. I
Yep.
believe.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
of course. But how you that's another thing, that adaptation.
Yeah,
About work,
adaptation.
and how you can try to blend in with your situation and your work wise. What kind of work? If you don't mind to share, I can also try to find your Furaha. Is it on the Facebook also?
Yeah, it's on Facebook.
Okay, if you don't mind to share about your.
Yeah, so actually I'm here in Singapore. Frankly speaking, when I moved here, it was difficult to find job, you know.
Okay.
So a lot of theories, but I mean, I think Qadar Allah has already was pushing me somewhere.
Okay.
And after some time, I was a little bit distressed because I'm trying to find job and I couldn't find. So in the search to become much more at ease, I come up and then I found the world of coaching. So I found coaches who helped me to really maintain my inner state and then to become at calm and finding the purpose.
Okay.
So maybe I feel like I have lost purpose sometimes. So, and it was a little bit challenging for me. So from there, I became a coach, life coach. So, and I started doing coaching one-on-one with my wife, okay, and then with family friends, and then I started what we call Furaha Mastery.
So this is the thing.
So this is the second thing. So I started Furaha Mastery. I studied as general, but now in Furaha Mastery, I just based on transformation work, and I deal with stress, trauma, anxieties, and chronic diseases. So it's not healing, it's all about finding the root causes of diseases. So over the years, over 4 or 5 years of doing this, I came to find the sweet spot between emotional dysregulation and chronic illnesses.
Why did you decide to pick up this kind of industry? Or
So my background was in molecular biology and genetics science. So I use this one. So we don't really study this, but there are research going on the mind-body connection, how your emotions affect your health state. So there is this theory: anything more than 3 months, any disease more than 3 months, there is an emotional component preventing you from healing. So if you are able to find that emotional component and resolve it, that means you will progress to heal.
Cool.
Yeah, so this is the theory I'm working with in Furaha Mastery, and Alhamdulillah, we have a very successful clients from Furaha Mastery.
How many years already Furaha Mastery?
How
many years already?
Furaha Mastery registered 2 years, but it has been working for 4 years. Yeah.
Is it growing also?
Yeah, so it is growing. So from there, we found like there's some people that are in very terminal condition where it's so hard for me to find the emotional cause because they're in very big distress. So that's where Furaha Naturels came. So Furaha Naturels produce natural products to help people calm their state before I can take them in the Furaha Mastery's principles. So from there we have products like Arth Relief, for example. Arth Relief for arthritis, pain. So for people who have very bad pain on their body, it's so hard to tell them focus on your emotions, because the pain will always distract them. So if you are able to calm the pain, then you can help them find the emotional cause and heal the arthritis once and for all. Yeah, so these are the two dynamics what I'm doing. So they depend on one another. And we also studied Furaha Naturels because of our stories of our 2 children. Again, Yusuf, the first one, and the last one. So Furaha Naturels story is the first and the last. The first one has eczema. The last one, she had malformed lung when she was very young. People, they can go into our IG story. The story is there about the last one. It's very long. So, but the 2 products, the core product, we started with eczemas, the cream for eczema. We created it for my son Yusuf, and we have Nije Live, which was inspired by our daughter. So this is the holistic story.
I have one comment from the viewers from Fasha. Yes, Mr. Jawa is good at life coaching. Please do engage him if you need help.
Okay, thank
It's
you.
a compliment and engagement from Puan Fasha, right?
Yes,
Okay.
my former client.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a good thing, right, that you try to. That in the first place, it's very difficult to find a job. For example, you mentioned just now, and by working your own, you find a passion.
Yes. Yeah, you
then
find.
you can help others also.
Yeah.
Masya Allah.
Yes. So
That's how you income.
so is interesting. The same thing I have told you. I believe there is nothing good or bad happening to you, and life doesn't happen to you; it happens for you. You know, this is my philosophy. So I may have maybe the very first time I may had negative feeling on myself, but once I change my life, okay, everything this difficulties happening for me is sending me somewhere. You know, so after I change my mindset, it's like you start finding different opportunities. They're coming there. So this is also my wife just today told me. I adapted this one. I usually tell her our risk is constant. Allah has already written our risk. So it doesn't matter where you are, your risk will follow you. You know, so as long as we depend in Allah, and then we try to do our due diligence, Allah will send you a risk wherever and whenever is needed to meet you. It will meet you and it will not miss you. You know? So
and also, okay, I understand.
yeah. So this is some of the philosophies I can say I have adapted from my own personal life that generally keep me at ease, and then just moving forward in life.
InsyaAllah. Puan Aisyah, macam mana dengan apa yang dikongsikan dan how you give a support to your husband yang pada mulanya susah nak mendapat pekerjaan, then you give the trust, you make doa. Of course, kejayaan suami itu di belakangnya ada seorang wanita yang berdoakan untuk suaminya kan.
Yes, behind every successful man there is successful wife.
Kan, mungkin that's how you sabar, then you give the motivation, motivasi kepada suami, dan alhamdulillah until now sukses. Walaupun 4 tahun dan sebagainya, tapi there's a bonding there pada permulaan daripada Turki bawa ke Singapura, Tanzania. But of course nak pekerjaan yang agak mencabar di Singapura, of course berbeza dengan like Singapura lah. But the trust is there. Maybe you can share about your experience.
Yeah, so in fact we had a family member who advised my mother to advise me to ask for divorce from my husband. But my mother heard that, and then she did not even say it to me. She did not even follow that advice. Yeah, so that's something, alhamdulillah, I mean, like my mother knows what to say and what not to say to us, alhamdulillah. And then the other thing is that I always remind myself, why did I choose this person? Yeah, so when I chose him, I knew that he has the propensity to do a lot of wonderful things in life.
InsyaAllah.
So so I believe in that, and I knew that okay, if it's not like life is a circle, right? So there will be times where we'll be at the bottom, but we will pick up.
Correct.
Yeah, so alhamdulillah that we have had our bottom, in that sense.
Now maybe we're here.
Now we are picking up.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. So it's not like marriage is not without challenges. We had our, we had our arguments also. Tapi that was just like maybe more so in the early part of the marriage.
I think it was more of understanding each other.
Yeah, learning about each other. Pasal we don't really know each other before this.
We give you context. I told you I called my brother-in-law that time. I called him in September, right? In next February we got married. Yeah, so it is very fast. And then we met. Okay, before I met her in class, but we did not have anything between us. We were just classmates, schoolmates. Okay, she was observing me. Okay, frankly speaking, I did not had my initial plan is to get married after I finish my PhD. I told her. You know,
Okay.
but I told her, if Allah wills me to marry earlier, that I cannot change it. You know, so it is something that will come, I will know. So for me, I ask some signs. Oh Allah, when I want to get married, show me these signs. When I see these signs, I know this is the time, you know. And Alhamdulillah, I saw those signs, and some of them, they happened to show between me and her. So when it was a very easy moving forward. And for me also, I did long istikhara. You know, I really did long istikhara. And one time I was not sure. She remembered, I called her. I thought maybe if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And she knows my view is not the person who really sometimes fight hard for things, you know, because I believe each and everything, if it's yours, it's yours.
Yeah.
If it's not, it's not. So I told her, if it's meant to be, it will be. If it's not meant to be, it will not be. But remember that if you want me to become your friend, I'll become your friend until you die. And if you get married, you just call me, I'll come to your wedding. I told her that, you know, one time, you know, and then she was so upset, you know, she was so upset. She sulked at me and everything, you know. So, but later on, things start showing differently, and then we move forward. So that's the part of life and my life. So for me, is, as I can tell you, I'm not really someone who really like you have to fight hard. No, I'm not kind of that person. I will put all the effort I have, and then I will not force the results, you know, because one of my ustaz, I still remember the Arabic word, lil abdil asbab,
Okay.
you know, to the servant is to create a reason, and to Allah is to fulfill the promise. So this is what I have been told very early on. So I'll put all the efforts. I will not fight for the results, because I know I cannot control the results. You know. So this is what and Alhamdulillah, until today, we hardly even have fights. Yeah, if you ask me, last time we had argument, I cannot remember. Yeah, so Alhamdulillah.
For the long time also, I never met Puan Aisyah, because we used to met one time at Muiz. Last time we talk about, my journey of education, my journey of after education and so on. But recently also, I met you at doing one event at, we have a booth there at Tampines Hub. Then we talk about, then also interested in terms of business. Then suddenly now we are here. We're talking about the life. We're talking about your situation now. You guys' situation, mixed marriage, but the adaptation lah.
Adaptations.
We learn something. Kita banyak belajar sebenarnya pada malam ini, and also sharing. Compared to Bilal, Mr. Bilal, Nadia Amdin, their philosophy is different. How Bilal encouraged Nadia Amdin to, and also the risky means, we're learning from foreigners. We're learning from others like you, like Bilal and so on. The sense of belief, dia punya faith, dia punya keimanan tu, that drive them out from their own comfort zone.
Yes.
You're Tanzanian, Bilal from France, kan? Then they are come all the way to Singapore and build a family. MashaAllah, this is sacrifice, compromise. But of course, there's challenges. We cannot do all that. Then with a trust, understanding from the setting must be, of course, up and down now.
Yes.
Up and down the challenges. But for kids, MashaAllah.
Alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah. But of course, they turn how the parents are trying to nurture, educate them to be adaptive with the situation, the differences yang diorang nak kena mengharungi nanti akan datang, all that, right?
Yeah.
But next question will be apa tau? Next question will be how to educate children and where do they be in the future? In the future pula. Maybe not you need to be maybe either or. You can share with us. Ada boleh kongsikan pada kita semua pada malam ni. Kalau bagaimana dengan pembesaran mereka dari segi education wise, Singapore education also not bad, kan? Tapi of course there are also not bad also. But how you want to make
Education.
dia
Education.
punya direction, if you can share to us.
You start first. I have been talking a lot. You start. How about education?
Yeah, okay. So in terms of education, I mean, Alhamdulillah, we have a very good educational system in Singapore, Alhamdulillah. But I think at the same time, MOE is also trying to make some adjustments, right? Like for us, we brought our kids to Tanzania twice. They love the space. They love the freedom. Yeah, jadi dekat sini kita tinggal like in flat, right? Jadi bila-bila masa, so we try to adapt lah. Bila-bila masa they feel like they want to go down to the playground, we allow them to go to the playground on their own.
Di sini.
In Singapore.
Yeah.
In Singapore. Alhamdulillah. So the good thing is that Singapore is very safe.
Yeah.
So we can actually trust them to play on their own. So
Which they pick up when they were in Tanzania.
Yeah, they picked up. Yeah, when they
Because
were
in Tanzania we do community parenting. We are still doing community parenting. So once your child is outside, your neighbors, everyone will still be taking care of your children. So yeah, so when they go there, it's like when they wake up in the morning, take food inside, and then they get disappeared. You don't see them again until they're hungry. So yeah, so that's what they were doing. So when they come here, they find just being in the house a little bit difficult. So every time, can I go down? Can we go down alone? They will put alone, because in Tanzania they used to just go alone, Yes.
So you give the exposure to
Yeah. So we let them.
Yeah. So that's the
So that's one. To add from there, education is a very big thing, and it's not just in school, So when we think of education, it's not just MOE or madrasas, that's things. So it's all what do you want really your child to become, and what values you want them later on to embody or to live by, what principles you want them to live by. So for me is our very simple principle. These are my life principles. So I will try to impart them to my children. I call it Al-Safia, is acceptance, love, serve, service, forgive, and be authentic. So these are the 5 values I really aspire myself and I'm striving to live by. So in my children, I'm trying to push them to live in this side. So to be able to really able to accept different situations, to be able to adapt. Different conditions, they're able to adapt in different conditions. So do they see themselves as victim, for example? Someone come to you, they fight between 2 of them siblings in the house. What do they take? Okay, this person, do you take a victim or you take in a problem solving? How do you find yourself in this situation? You can take it like down. Yeah, so that's one. Another thing is we try to teach them about forgiveness a lot. We try to teach them about service, a lot of service, and also to live authentically. So, so to be your real self. So we try. It's hard for parents because all of us, we have a lot of things, but we try as much as possible to accommodate what really the authentic image of themselves. So for example, one of our child is very time sensitive. He's very time sensitive. So if he wants to be someplace by 7:30, he'll have to do whatever it takes. 7:30, he'll have to be there, and he's very young.
cool.
But we try to do that. So for example, when I go and fetch him to school, I will give him a window frame because I'm not time sensitive. So I'll tell him, I tell him I'll take you at 7:30, he will expect me to be in school at 7:30. So I'll tell him I'll be there at 7:30, 7:45. So that I reduce the mental load that where is Baba, where is it? So one day I was 1 minute late and then he got very upset. I was 146. So for him, he has watch. So because time is very important to him. Our second son is emotional. Yes, he's very emotional. He likes to connect. He's a hugger. So he will come and give you a hug for nothing. So that is his how he do himself. Another girl of us is very expressive, she's a princess, she likes to live the life of fantasy. She sings. She can sing before she sleeps until you tell her stop singing, So we try to bring the authentic selves, although we are not 100%, I cannot lie about it, but we try to accommodate as much as possible. Yes. Yes. Always.
And suppose you say don't have any domestic helper to assist you. All right, but we managed to, mashallah, see. And again, back to the question, to the medium language at home, maybe Malay, maybe English.
Generally English.
Yeah, generally English.
With nenek, campur.
Campur. Yeah, when my mom was around, now my mom is away to study. Jadi, then she will actually be speaking with them both in English and in Malay. So we are trying to practice. Like on Saturdays, okay, we speak fully in Malay, and then on Sunday we speak fully in Swahili. So that's the time that Baba will actually teach them Swahili. Tapi it's not easy to be
exposure lah. Kalau kadang-kadang talking about exposure, macam during my school, my younger time, maybe exposure to the library itu for the exposure of language lah. Tapi kalau let's say the medium language dekat rumah tu maybe different lah. Like you say, English, then expose Malay, expose Tanzanian language.
So general instruction is Swahili. So they know. It's like we put like there is certain. If they hear this language, they have to do it. Yeah. So if they hear Baba speak Swahili, it's like, okay, this one you cannot compromise. You have to do it. But if they hear I give instruction in English, sometimes they'll just be quiet and then go on with their life. So it's like it creates a conditioning also. What I just say. If they hear me speaking in Swahili, they really know. Okay, these ones we have to do it. We have to finish whatever we want to do now. Yeah.
By the way, it's something that we learn something almost 9:50, almost 10. Yang for tonight, dari malam ni kita mungkin lebih kepada a few exposure for tonight. Kita belajar something about culture, different culture, adaptation, compromise. Most likely that datang daripada suami yang okay to duduk bersama ataupun live together in Singapore. But sooner later also maybe decide sooner what going on, itu will be later lah. Maksudnya ketentuan nak macam mana situasi dia untuk membesarkan ataupun duduk selama-lamanya di mana, itu will be different story lah. Of course. Tapi as for tonight, kita malam ni saya rasa dah banyak perkongsian daripada Cik Sulaiman dan juga Puan Aisyah berkenaan dengan perkahwinan campur. Yang sama ni kita dengar banyak perkongsian sebenarnya. Of course, kebanyakan ni bahasa English lah. So, minta maaf kalau kita belum ada subtitle, insyaAllah in the future kalau boleh kita ada. Tapi kita bilingual bahasa percampuran malam ni, antara bahasa Inggeris dan juga bahasa Melayu. Yang mana kita nak sampaikan kepada anda semua pada malam ini. Tetapi hakikatnya memang ramai di luar sana pun belajar banyak pengetahuan, perbezaan. Saya rasa antara kelebihan ni berkahwin dengan pasangan yang berbeza negara adalah cara mereka berfikir, how you think, the mindset, dan juga adaptation ataupun cuba nak menyesuaikan. Itu berbeza dengan kita sebab kita ada under comfort zone. Ruang kesesaan tu ada. Tapi kalau let's say orang luar ni berkahwin orang luar, mereka ni sangat minat dari mereka berbeza. I learn something that the mindset will be different. Like Mr. Bilal, like you yourself, the island. So bila mana kita berhijrah tu, kita dapat pendedahan yang lebih apa. Of course kita belajar di luar negara seperti Puan Aisyah. Belajar luar negara pun lebih banyak pendedahan sebagainya.
That's right. So if I can actually add a bit, macam in Singapore we have a lot of structure.
Understand?
A lot of structure. But when we go out, the lack of structure to actually makes people very creative. So then they have a lot of space also to be to know what problems to solve.
Yeah.
So that is something which I learned. In fact, when I was in Turkey, I met, like, for example, macam kita sometimes kita as Singaporean, we take pride that our English is so good coming. Tapi sebenarnya kita we speak a lot in Singlish lah,
Yeah, correct.
kan? Tapi macam we take pride in our airport is very good. Memang alhamdulillah our airport is good. We take pride in our healthcare. Yes, alhamdulillah our healthcare is good. In our education system, alhamdulillah it's good. But then when I was overseas, I was exposed to, like, for example, I have friends who speak like 3-4 languages.
Yeah, no.
Like, for example, they speak Arabic, French, Turkish, German. Jadi macam, wow, I wonder, like, how do I actually make my children speak in, so many languages in that sense. And then, like, for example, alhamdulillah, my husband, like, I'm really grateful. It's like he can solve a lot of things at home. Macam if there's an issue, okay, he knows how to resolve it. But probably we give the same problem to a Singaporean, a young Singaporean. They will be struggling because the environment is so,
Structured,
very, very structured. So people don't quite think out of the box. Sometimes, I mean, I'm so sorry if
Nah, ini
yeah.
pandangan kita jugalah, how do we view
Yeah.
ni as a Singaporean, right?
Yeah.
Dia kekurangan kat situ lah.
Mhm.
Yes, which is correct lah. So itu beza dia antara kita apabila kita dapat kelebihan perkahwinan campuran yang membuka minda kita lebih luas. In the
Yeah,
sense,
so it's a growth mind. So for me, if I can say one thing that I can really see is different, if I have been married maybe to my own Tanzanian, is the marriage helped me to turn off my culture and then to focus more in Islam.
Oh.
So
This is different view,
so my culture really doesn't influence so much how I interact with my wife and my children. I will really follow and then try to find how I can really go to Islam, because I think maybe subconsciously I know we are not the same culture.
But by using the guidance of religion, then
that
you
is
neutralized back, then you establish.
we're establishing. So this is one thing I can say. Like, if I have married Tanzanian, how will life be different? Maybe I'll be just like any other Tanzanian, but this one pushed me out of my comfort zone, sent me into a path of growth. Also, it increased my tawakkal. It really increased my tawakkal, So it just put you, it stripped you of all the cultural identities, and then it just leaves you, okay, I have married to this woman because I'm Muslim. If I was like another religion from elsewhere, I'll not be able to marry Aisyah. So it's not because I'm Tanzanian she married me. She married me because she saw values, maybe her values, that, okay, this is person maybe I want to be to take him as my protector, like that. So this is one thing I can say, like, one of the thing I can see from me, and then I can see from most mixed marriages that survive long.
Masya-Allah. I think ramai yang menonton ni pun rasa, bukan rasa setuju 100% pun, at least some sort like agree a part of the, not all, but yes, some sort like kita ada dia punya persamaan. The meeting point that whatever yang kita kongsikan pada malam ni agak dapat kita dapat raih manfaat, the benefit of whatever that you share ataupun Puan Aisyah share, dapat sama-sama berkongsi. Sebab saya nampak sini ada orang berikan komen, dia kata daripada Puan Raihana Hamid, dia kata, Masya Allah, very interesting and good sharing Kak Nur, Aisyah and Arshad and husband. Ini perkongsian bermakna satu pendedahan yang baik untuk didapatkan perkongsian, dan juga yang bagi mereka yang menonton pada malam ni pun saya rasa banyak yang dapat satu pendedahan yang baik, sebab perbezaan perkahwinan campur ni bukan satu perkara yang orang kata tu negatif, tetapi ada juga positif. Of course ada cabaran-cabaran rintangan yang dihadapi. Yang tak kahwin campur pun ada cabaran dengan rintangan kan. So nak berkatakan, tapi balik kepada saya dapat case daripada Encik Sulaiman, iaitu agama. Agama yang menjadikan dia sebagai tapak ataupun landasan yang neutral, landasan yang baik untuk kita ikutilah walau macam mana pun. So malam ni is a good sharing, almost 1 hour and a half. Dia jam 10 dah sebenarnya, hampir pada jam 10 dah perkongsian daripada awal. So saya rasa saya ajak anda untuk berkongsikan video ni kepada yang lain juga, dan juga dapat meraih manfaat perkongsian pada malam ni, insya-Allah perbualan santai dan juga perbualan yang saya rasa jarang anda dapati di luar. Dan hakikatnya ada perkahwinan percampuran di luar sana di kalangan kita, dan bagaimana kita boleh ambil manfaat daripada perkongsian dikongsikan oleh Puan Aisyah dan juga Encik Sulaiman pada malam ini, insya-Allah. Jadi saya nak berhenti setakat ni dulu. InsyaAllah kalau ada part 2, part 3, part 4 in the future, we don't know. InsyaAllah. Hopefully kita dapat.
If they want us to come back, they can say.
Dan kalau anda nak cakap, please type saya nak panggil balik Puan Aisyah dengan Encik Sulaiman pada masa datang. Allah tahu, insyaAllah. Tapi akan datang tu kita berbual dengan topik yang berbeza, mungkin dengan pengalaman ataupun profesional yang Encik Sulaiman dan juga Puan Aisyah ada, kita kongsikan juga insya-Allah pada masa akan datang. Setakat itu dulu. Jadi saya nak highlightkan kepada anda semua, terima kasih banyak-banyak kerana sudi bersama dengan saya pada awal hingga saat ini dalam live ABITALK yang mana kita bincangkan tentang kahwin campur, daripada Encik Sulaiman daripada Tanzania dan juga Puan Aisyah daripada kita dari Singapura, yang mana hidup aman dan alhamdulillah kita doakan agar mereka terus hidup aman, damai dan juga sampai ke syurga insya-Allah, membesarkan anak-anak yang 4-7 tahun ke bawah. Dan juga 4 insya-Allah, mudah-mudahan kita doakan mereka semua anak-anak yang soleh solehah, dan juga kita semua harap kita makmurkan diri kita juga meraih manfaat daripada apa dikongsikan supaya dapat kita aplikasikan diri kita juga insya-Allah. Jadi terus anda kongsikan video ini dan juga terus memberikan sokongan kepada kita semua. Side track kita Abi juga menawarkan perkhidmatan yang lain seperti Ustaz Nazar, seperti juga tahnik. Kalau anda ingin dapatkan output tahnik, dan juga of course kita nak wawarkan dan juga encourage anda untuk menjadi Abi ataupun juga member yang mana boleh mendapatkan maklumat lanjut dengan anda hubungi kami di talian di bawah 820971 ataupun 8161 insya-Allah. Terima kasih banyak-banyak kerana sudi bersama kita pada malam ini. Thank you very much. Puan Aisyah, thank you Encik Sulaiman, insya-Allah. Yes, insya-Allah kita jumpa lagi pada episod akan datang. Kita akhir dulu dengan semoga anda semua mendapat manfaat insya-Allah, dan jangan lupa saya kita ucapkan alhamdulillah. Kita tutup dengan tasbih kafarah dengan surah Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa yasir innal insana lafi khusr illa alladziina aamanu wa amilus solihati wa tawassaw bil haqqi wa tawassaw bis sabr. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa wasallam. Walhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Terima kasih semua, dan juga jangan lupa untuk anda yang nak ikuti kursus jenazah daripada kami, Grief and Grave seminar yang akan berlangsung pada 5 November hari Ahad daripada jam 10 hingga 4 petang. Makanan semua disediakan insya-Allah bagi mereka nak ikuti acara ini. Boleh anda lungsuri laman www.lianamusfira.com/events. Okay, so this one hanya 1 hari saja yang akan berlangsung di Masjid Al-Islah. Okey, kalau anda nak walk in pun dipersilakan juga tanggal 5 November, jatuh pada hari Ahad ni. Besok kita ada kursus umrah yang akan berlangsung pada jam 11 hingga 12 tengah hari. Jadi kalau anda ada masa lapang, free of charge. Yang kena charge this one charge $55 per head. Kalau couple 95 insya-Allah. Alright, setakat ni dulu. Terima kasih banyak-banyak. Jumpa lagi. Sekian. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Bagi bye.